Hello guys, a lot of people have been requesting my recipe and how I make my sourdough. This is what it looks like. You're gonna need some sourdough starter to make this bread, of course. It's a fermentation process that breaks down gluten so then your body can digest it, if that makes sense. So what you do is feed a starter for about 7 to 10 days to become active. It's just flour and water. You could use any flour you like. I personally like using all-purpose or bread flour for my starter. So we're gonna make a bread today together. I like to use rye sometimes in my videos. This flour is really good. This is more of a regenerative flour, we can say. So what I do is just throw a little bit of water. This is gonna sound very messy, but it's the way that I do my sourdough. It sounds so sloppy, quick. It really isn't that complicated, we can say. We stir that up until it's like a thick consistency. I'll show you guys in a second. This bag has a hole in the bottom. My baby's in the background. Okay. I'm gonna add a little bit more water. Like I said, this sourdough process makes it so easy for your stomach to digest the bread because it's already breaking down when it's fermenting, so it just goes to your stomach and smooth. There we go. That's how thick I like my sourdough starter. Okay, so we're just gonna let this sit for a couple hours, 4, 6, depending on what temp is your house. My house is probably right now like 70 right now. So I'm just gonna let it sit for 4 hours, come back, use it for some bread. Once your starter has risen, you're gonna wanna do a 3-to-1 ratio of flour, water, and your sourdough starter. Whip this up until it bubbles like that. Some sea salt. Rye flour first. Keep this in mind, if you use more whole grain flour, your bread is going to have a tighter crumb. About 2 cups of that. Now you're going to work this with your hands until it's a dough. Based on the appearance of the dough here, I ended up using a low hydration. Let it sit for an hour. Okay guys, it's been about an hour. I usually don't go crazy on the stretch and folds. I do them just like randomly, I guess we can say. So I'm going to do 1 stretch and fold. You can do 3 every 30 minutes. The less hydration you use in your dough, the more tighter the crumb. The more hydration you use, the more airy the loaf will be, along with more holes. Look at that rye. Okay guys, it is now the next day. I like to preheat my oven at 500, then switch it to 450. I start by baking my bread for about 30 minutes at 450 or about 40 or so. And then I switch it to 425 and take off the lid because you need like a Dutch oven or something to cover the bread. Also, if you guys are wondering what's the difference between all the flours, whole grain has more nutritional value rather than all-purpose and bread flour. You get nice airy loaves. For my case, I decided to use all-purpose flour and whole grain to show you how the flours differentiate. Once you wait until the bread has cooled down an hour, this is what it should look like. Mine kind of broke. Based on everything we went over, as you guys can see, my bread ended up having a tighter crumb because I used less hydration and I also used whole grain, which was the rye flour. Hope this helps anybody getting into sourdough bread making. Also, be patient with your starter. Let it rise, let it grow the healthy bacteria it needs. Give it 7 to 14 days.